This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Check out the link in the description to find out how you can get 83% off and 3 extra months free. Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and I've been using the 16-inch MacBook Pro for about the past day now, and I have some more initial thoughts about Apple's latest and most powerful Pro laptop, including now some gaming samples. So first of all, let's get into that design, and more specifically, that brand new 16-inch display. This display has a resolution of 3072 by 1920 with 226 pixels per inch. Despite being a bigger display, the quality is pretty much the same as the old 15-inch version. So 500 nits of brightness, true tone, and the wide P3 color spectrum, it's all there. The only real difference is that 0.6 inches of extra display space. And I've been really liking the expanded space that the 16-inch display offers. First of all, the noticeably slimmer bezels just make the overall design of the laptop nicer. And like I mentioned in yesterday's video, even though it's only 0.6 inches bigger than the old 15.4 inch display, but because that's measured on the diagonal, it does make a difference with screen real estate. And I just feel like this display envelops me more and immerses me more into my content, whether that's editing a video in Final Cut Pro 10, having multiple windows open, or watching a YouTube video, or the morning show on Apple TV+. Everything on it looks great. Is it a giant difference? No, but it's enough that you'll notice and appreciate the extra screen real estate. Now, even though this is marketed as the 16-inch MacBook Pro, I think the bigger change with this laptop actually comes down to sound, because these speakers are really amazing. I talked about this in my first impressions video, and I called them the best laptop speakers that I have ever heard, and even that feels like an understatement somehow. The clarity, the bass, and richness of these speakers is just insanely great, and anything I record on my microphones won't do it justice. So music, TV shows, and games even sound great, and it even supports Dolby Atmos sound to give you a more precise area of where those sounds are coming from. You really need to hear this laptop in person, and I'm sure once you do, you'll be equally as blown away as I am. Surprisingly enough, the microphone is also equally as stunning. I'm very pleased with the performance of the microphone, and it sounds great, especially for the ones built into your laptop. Apple claims that these microphones are so good that you could even use them to record a podcast, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I actually have a podcast called GadgetCast with my good buddy Travis MCP, so on Monday's show, all of my audio will be recorded using the internal microphones on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Now, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out that GadgetCast episode, but for now, here is a quick audio sample. Hello world, and welcome to another episode of GadgetCast. I'm your host, Gregory McFadden, joined by my co-host, Travis MCP. Another area where I've been using the 16-inch MacBook Pro a lot is with the keyboard. I've been typing with it almost all day, and like I said in my previous video, this is very similar to the desktop Magic Keyboard, now that it uses the scissor switch mechanism. If you hated the feel of the butterfly keyboard because of its low travel, I think you'll be pleased with the increased travel on the 16-inch. Conversely, if you love the more stable, precise, and less mushy keys of the butterfly keyboard, I also think you will enjoy using this new Magic Keyboard. It's a nice middle ground that should make most users happy. Alright, so what about some more performance-oriented things? Of course, this is a MacBook Pro, and the people who are buying this probably want a machine that's pretty powerful. Well, I only have some preliminary thoughts of using this laptop. I've only been using it for 24 hours now, and I did a bunch of benchmarks in my previous video, so if you're interested in those benchmarks, you can find that video up here, but for now, I'm just going to talk about my experience using this with editing video. So I did edit yesterday's video on this 16-inch MacBook Pro, and the experience was really great. With high quality previews throughout my 4K editing, the timeline was smooth. This laptop felt just as fast as my 2019 iMac, and that's definitely a compliment. And while editing in Final Cut Pro 10, I noticed that the laptop's fans were definitely quieter. I think Apple's work on thermals here was good, but don't get me wrong, you can definitely hear the fans spin up while you're exporting. Again, just to reiterate, this is just my initial experience with the performance on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I still want to do a lot more tests and spend a lot more time with this machine before I give a final verdict on things like thermals, fan noise, and performance. But you know what I don't need more time to tell you? That is that you should be using a trustworthy VPN to protect and secure your sensitive data whenever you access the internet. Which is why you should check out our sponsor for this video, Surfshark. Surfshark is a forward-thinking privacy protection tool which guarantees instant online safety and no-frills usage experience. When it's on, Surfshark encrypts all the data sent via the internet so that no one could see your passwords, private messages, steal photos, videos, or other sensitive data. To put it simply, Surfshark protects its users in the open waters of today's internet. Not only does Surfshark protect your privacy, but it also allows you to search for better pricing by avoiding price discrimination for flight tickets, hotel sites, and apartment bookings. It encrypts information sent between your devices and blocks ads, malware, trackers, and prevents phishing. It's also great for traveling to other countries so you can connect to Wi-Fi without worrying about sharing your data with strangers, and great for getting past geo-restricted content blockers and internet censorship so you can still access the websites you love even when traveling abroad. Surfshark also offers unlimited simultaneous connections on one account and advanced security protocols. And Surfshark is simple to use with a great UI, one-button connection, and it will not collect data logs on your browsing history. Surfshark is also multi-platform, so it's available on iOS, Android, macOS, and Windows. And now Surfshark is offering viewers of Greg's Gadgets 83% off and 3 extra months free for Black Friday. Just use the promo code Greg's Gadgets at checkout or use the link in the video description. So make sure you protect and secure your sensitive data with Surfshark, and thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Another area where I've been testing out this 16-inch MacBook Pro in the past 24 hours is gaming. Actually, in my last video, a lot of people were requesting that I play some games on this MacBook Pro to test out the performance of the new AMD Radeon Pro 5500M. Now again, all these tests are using the lower end 5500M with 4 gigabytes of video memory. I do have the version with 8 gigabytes of video memory on the way, but it won't ship out for another week. First, I loaded up Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, which actually has an inbuilt benchmarking tool. First, I ran the benchmark at medium settings and got an average FPS of 57.68. I then ran that same test again on high and got 55.61, and on ultra with an overall FPS of 52.96. Now these are pretty good results when you compare them to the 2019 15-inch MacBook Pro with the Radeon 560X, which scored just 29.45 frames per second on a high settings benchmark. After the benchmark, I played around on ultra settings, and the gameplay, even with lots of enemies on screen, was smooth. Also, another shout out to those speakers, which sounded excellent during the gameplay. Next, I loaded up one of my favorites, StarCraft 2, which is why I'm wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row. Now, StarCraft 2, even though it's an older title, is actually a pretty good stress test for when you have a lot of enemies on screen. And at extreme graphics settings, even though I could hit 60 frames per second, it definitely still had frame drops during those bigger battles. Setting StarCraft 2 to high settings gave me a smoother experience while still allowing me to enjoy a high FPS. I also figured I would try out an Apple Arcade game, since there are a lot of games to choose from there. I loaded up Oceanhorn 2 and the game looked good. And the game ran pretty smooth, which isn't really a surprise since the game is also designed to run on all Apple devices, but it really makes you wonder if the success of Apple Arcade will lead to more high-end quality games on the Mac. Now these were just a few tests of gaming on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I gotta say, so far I'm pretty impressed when I compare it to the 2019 15-inch MacBook Pro. I'm seeing about double the performance in most games. If you want to see even more games tested, let me know in the comments below if I should do a dedicated gaming video on the 16-inch MacBook Pro with Windows Boot Camp. Now I'm sure there's another area where people want some more coverage, and that is battery life. Again, unfortunately, I've only been using this laptop for a little over 24 hours, so I really can't give you any concrete claims on battery life performance just yet. So you'll have to wait for the full review before I can give a comment on that. So there you have it, my 24 hours later review of the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Now, I'm still going to be using this laptop for a while, and I will definitely have more refined thoughts when it's time to do my full review on this device. I still need to do longer term testing with the thermals, performance, and just carrying this thing around in my bag with the increased weight to see how good of a portable workstation this laptop truly is. But if I had to give a verdict after 24 hours, I would say that I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this 16-inch MacBook Pro. Not only did Apple keep it at the same price as the 15-inch, but they also added better thermals and they added better graphics options even on the base model. And they also bumped up the storage option so that the base model now comes with 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. Not to mention that a lot of people are just going to be happy with that brand new Magic Keyboard. Now, even though this was just a 24 hours video, hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, make sure you leave me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, including that future review of the 16-inch MacBook Pro, make sure you're subscribed. Also, be sure to let me know what you think of the 16-inch MacBook Pro in the comments below, or if you have any questions for my full review. Also, make sure to check out our sponsor for this video, Surfshark, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.